Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name's Nick, and today we're going to be looking at a subgun can or PCC can, basically something for a 9mm compact rifle slash pistol, the Dead Air Wolfman. Now, before we get into the review, what is my relationship with Dead Air? I have no relationship with them whatsoever other than owning quite a few of their suppressors. I traded some website work for this specific Wolfman a little over 3 years ago, so I've had a lot of experience with it. And I've used it on quite a few different guns. Right now, it is living on my B&T APC-9K. This is the host. This is the setup. This is how it's always on there, but I've shot it on quite a few different things. An MP5 clone, an MP5K clone. I've shot it on my 5.56 11.5-inch Type A. Even my Rossi 92 357 lever action rifle. So it's been on quite a few different guns. I've had enough experience with it to give you my opinion and if it's worth your money. I'm going to tell you right now, if you're looking for a subgun can, I think this is a very good option. So you don't have to watch the rest of the video, but I'll tell you why in just a second. So the basics of this suppressor, it is marketed as a subgun or PCC suppressor specifically, but it goes all the way up to 350 Legend in what it can handle. It is full auto rated. You can actually shoot 5.56, 7.62, 300 blackout, 9mm. Pistol calibers under 9mm. Don't do 22, they say, just because it'll foul up, but I'm sure you could shoot a 22 through this size of bore. So it is a pretty universal. It's a pretty universal suppressor, but primarily it is for subguns or PCCs. I'm just going to use the word subgun if you get freaked out because it means submachine gun. Okay, they're not all machine guns, but that's the term that I like to use for it. It is made from 17.4 stainless steel. It has a long configuration that you can see right here, and it is 14.4 ounces. I got some notes down here in the long configuration, 9.8 ounces short. It ships with a direct thread adapter in 1/2 by 28, but you can also use the key micro. You can use piston or Nielsen devices if you want to use it on a pistol with a tilt barrel, or what I have on here is the OG Rad tri-lug adapter for the B&T APC-9K and MP5 and their clone variants. So this is typically how I run it with the tri-lug adapter on it. Now it has no barrel restrictions and is full auto rated. They have some video of shooting 300 blackout full auto, so seems to hold up to that. It's 17.4 stainless, which is very, very durable as long as you don't have any baffle strikes or anything like that. So it is going to be durable. Now, let's talk about the good points of this suppressor. First off, I'm going to say the modularity. That is something nice to have on subgun cans. On rifle-only cans, I really like to have my suppressors be, dedicated for their host. But for something like this, the modularity is nice. Let's talk about the butt end first in this modularity. It ships with the 1/2 by 28 direct thread mount. I have the tri-lug on here. If you want to shoot 5.56, they do say you need to shoot it with the key micro adapter. I did not do that. I didn't follow the rules. I went ahead and did it with the direct thread adapter on my 11.5 because I just wanted to test it. I don't plan on using this as a rifle suppressor, but the modularity to allow you to do that is nice. And I will say it performed almost as well as my dedicated suppressor on there, the CGS Helios DT. So as far as the actual sound suppression on that rifle, it was about the same as far as sound is concerned. However, this is larger, longer, and heavier than the suppressor that I have on there, which is titanium. But I will say, even though this has a 9mm end cap on it, so over 30 cal end cap, it did seem to produce more gas coming back through the system than my 5.56 dedicated suppressor. And in the bro science world of your ejection pattern showing if it's overgassed, that gun is tuned for the the CGS Helios, the 5.56 specific can. And when I put this on there, the ejection pattern went from like nice 3 o'clock to like 1:30 to 2. So in the bro science world, that says that it made the gun overgassed for this suppressor, which is kind of interesting knowing that it has more volume, bigger end cap, larger baffle openings. So that's just something that you'll have to be aware of if you're going to be using it on a rifle, is it may need some tuning. Now, of course, that could be because I direct threaded it. So, maybe there's a reason that sacrificial baffle of the key micro mount is required, but I just wanted to test it real quick. Now let's talk about the next good thing, and that's the sound suppression. And this is very quiet. Now, I'm going to say that suppressing 9mm, I haven't known that to be very, very difficult in the past. I mean, the MP5 SD back in the day, they were able to make that very quiet, and obviously they took supersonic rounds and made them subsonic. But I'll tell you, back in the day in California, I knew a guy, I'm not gonna out him because of the story, but he wanted to suppress a 9mm pistol. And what he did was he took a mag light, a 4-cell mag light, which is a little bit longer than this, and he actually tapped the end cap 1/2 by 28 and went ahead and threaded his barrel and put a piece of pipe in it that he just drilled all the way around. He read about the MP5 SD, and so did kind of the same thing, packed it with packing material from a motorcycle muffler, and went out to the range, out to the desert, some BLM land, and shot it. And that thing was whisper quiet. So it was homemade, backyard, super illegal. Hopefully that guy didn't get caught for doing something that should be allowed. But this is definitely louder than that for certain. But it just goes to show that, backyard scientists can suppress 9mm. It is not really that difficult to do. But all that being said, this is very quiet. I didn't notice a difference in between the long configuration and the short configuration. I will say there's going to be a giant difference based on the ammunition you're using, which should be obvious, and the host that you're shooting on. So if you're shooting it on 9mm, most of the time I shoot 124 grain NATO. I want full powered rounds. I want to make sure that I have full cycle on my weapon. And that is definitely supersonic, so you're going to get the crack all the time. When I switch over from shooting supersonic rounds to subsonic rounds, this thing gets very, very quiet. And I will say the hosts that you use it on make it even more quiet. So the loudest gun that I shoot it on in 9mm has definitely been this B&T APC 9K. The second quietest is the full-size MP5 clone. And the quietest combination that I actually have, and I don't have video footage of it, but that's the MP5K clone with this suppressor and subsonic rounds. It's damn near like completely movie silent. And that was interesting to me. Why would the short barrel be different? Some MP5 guru told me that I guess the gas key or gas block, whatever there is in that roller delayed blowback, is smaller in the MP5K, so less sound comes back through the ejection port. I don't know. All I know is that is a very, very quiet gun when you suppress it, no matter how you get around it. So this is quiet as a suppressor on 9mm. Definitely works there. The next positive is that it's durable. This is not a suppressor that I'm really going to worry about. It's 17.4 stainless steel. I've shot it with 5.56. I've shot it with 357. I've shot it with some higher powered rounds and have had no issues. So durability, this is something that's going to be around for a long time, as long as you treat it right and you don't have any weird baffle strikes or issues with your weapon. The last positive is, this is pretty cool, the ability to use wipes. So whether it's in the long or short configuration, it has a separate end cap that you can use, where you take a little rubber, circle, and it goes in there. And what that's going to do is the first few rounds that you shoot are going to be whisper quiet. In fact, if you're going to make a very quiet, very compact suppressor. Some people have done it just by having multiple layers of wipes, and they can make a very small, very compact, suppressor that is whisper quiet. So the fact that you have something that's full size and you can replace those wipes, if you're going to go do wet work, I suppose you'd want to have that for just a few shots they're going to do. It will eventually break up and not work. So you do need to replace it after a few shots. But that's cool. I think that'd be cool for home defense, I suppose. I don't know if I would use that. I did it one time and I thought it was cool, but I haven't bought any more wipes since. So that just shows you how often you'll do something like that, but it is cool to be able to do it. Now let's talk about the cons. There are none. This is marketed as a PCC or subgun suppressor. It suppresses 9mm adequately, as well as anything else that I've seen. The modularity is nice. So it does exactly what it is advertised to do, and a little bit more by being able to go on rifles. I've seen people shoot 300 blackout through it. I did not do that because I was not going to be swapping out muzzle devices on any of my guns, but it seems to work fine in those capacities as well. So I'd say overall, if you're interested in something that is subgun specific, but also able to go on other weapons, this is a very good choice for you. So Wolfman, nothing bad to say. If you're looking at it, you're considering it, it fits the bill, go get it.